Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we're live on a Friday at 11:32 a.m., January 8th. What happened the day before yesterday? I don't even know. I don't even know. We're not going to get into that. All I know is I'm a peaceful kind of person, and I use my words as best as I can. It's all I know. Today's story is about Bitcoin and the bull run. Today's episode is sponsored by Change Angel, the non-custodial swap exchange for social goods. Stop depositing on exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto, non-custodial, DeFi, or nothing at all. Bam! Let's see who's in the stream. Got the Webbers in the house. Always a pleasure. Heirloom, yes sir. The fishing charters. Oh, it's good stuff. Yes. Lids, good morning. Crypto, MacDad, the only thing stimulated this year will be Coinbase. Coinbase is going to be one epic IPO. Look at all the money that's flowing into companies just because they're merely associated with blockchain technology or, dare I say, holding crypto assets. So when Coinbase IPOs, this is going to be a spectacle to say the least. Crypto chicks in the house, always a pleasure. Graham, yes. Coinbase can stay up. Well, that's another story. Need some coin Viagra, something like that. Pellets, my man. Bitter, that's bitter. Hi, Lidge Addis, that's bitter. Yeah. White Wolf, always a pleasure. Pavel, yes, this is the bull run. As always, let's pop it over to the main screen and see what's going on. A whole lot of stuff going on Twitter. Always fun. But let's bring up the Bitcoin chart and see the deal. So Bitcoin yesterday was crazy. So what I have here is the white line is the 200 EMA, the blue line is the 100 SMA, the green line is the 50 SMA. This is the 15 min chart. What does this mean? What does this mean? You can look at all the data, and that was the whole point of today's title. You can look at data, but data means nothing unless you have a story, unless you can interpret it verbally and have a narrative that the data is suggestive, that is playing out. The narrative is supported by data. The data doesn't tell the story. The narrative doesn't tell the story. What happens not because you wanted to, but because that's like, listen, this data says it's going up, but it could go really up, and that's not necessarily consistent with confluence of what the data suggests. It could go really down, and that's like an aberration or a systemic event, black swan event, a liquidity event. So we never know what's going to happen, but what the data gives us allows us to put puzzle pieces together to form somewhat of a picture of what's playing out. And what's fascinating really isn't even the price increase, boys and girls. It's what that means. And this goes into the politics, and this goes into civil unrest, and this goes into people out of work, and the economic crises, and the amount of money they're printing, and uh, uh, the debt-based global financial system and fractional reserve banking. This all is connected, and that's the whole point of what I like to drive home, and that's the story. So look at this thing. This thing ripped up, and this is so cool, man, because this was such a wick down that smacked right into the 15 min 200 EMA. You realize this is like a 3,000. This is like almost a $4,000 dip. What? What? But it smacked right into the 200 EMA on a relatively low time frame. I said in a tweet shortly ago that when you see price action like this, and you either have support or resistance, and algorithm. This a large part driven by algorithms, but algorithms are ultimately driven by human sentiment, emotion, fear. Uh, uh, Exuberance, like greed, so on and so forth. So the algorithms behave as human program them. So to see such bullish support on a relatively low time frame for a full mean regression to the 200 EMA, that means all of that dump, $4,000 worth of Bitcoin, was bought. That's crazy. And it's nice to see the price go up, but the story that all of that was bought. One, The fact that all of that was bought means it was a transference from weak hands to strong hands. Someone was taking profit thinking this was the top of the bull market, and then it was all bought. There was that much cash sitting on the sidelines that just bought it. That's crazy. And literally that's the story just right here. That's just that little wick. And then you had more liquidations and it was all bought again. And basically you had a triangular compression, lower highs, higher. And you did, listen, this is so bullish because it's not like you had, it's not like it did something like this. It literally has one touch of support, and this is clear support, and it's right below the 200 EMA and the 15 min. I believe that was. Let's check. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Do you see that? That's the 100 SMA on the 30 min. The support is breathtaking to watch. Absolutely breathtaking. And then you had a breakout. I mean, and this is not just a normal breakout because I said there's only one hit of a relatively low time frame, short-term moving average, a 100 SMA in the 30 min, and just explosion to the upside of what? 38.3, 41, $2,800. Wow, 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 wee, wow. My God, it's just so bullish. I just listen. That the whole point of trading. A lot of folks I know join, and they're like, "I want to buy low, sell high." And that to do that, you look for trend reversal. And as of right now, support hits on these symmetrical moving averages, these exponential moving averages, generally these moving averages tell such a bullish story and is so consistent with the other parts of the story we talk about, which is the financial system, how Raoul Pal talks, how George Gammon defines things, how Lyn Alden talks about things. It's just that's what's going on. Michael Saylor, man, I think he's going to go down in history. What am I missing in the stream? Yeah, Pavel says Lal coin Viagra. Yeah, they got to keep it up. Um, Post USA election relief. I don't want to. I don't want to touch it. I am neither or, and I'm a pacifist. Democrats think they will go big or go home. Yeah, so that is so part of the macro story. There was a news publication that they're going to push for a $3 trillion infrastructure bill. Oh my God! Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Exit dollars and buy assets because that money is going to go into circulation. That circulation is going to create a supply and demand imbalance. There's going to be more demand than supply. That's going to push prices up, which basically is going to decrease the value of the dollar. And all of that money in circulation, based because of network effect, is going to go to the assets that are performing the best. Now, clearly, the dollar can never go up because that's just the design of the system. So the assets that are performing the best, sure, it's going to go into equities. It's going to go probably into bonds, as Stephen Van Meter talks about. And I'll bet my bottom dollar that's a lot of that money is going to go right into the crypto space because this is the best performing asset of all time. It's the bottom line. If someone missed Chainlink, maybe a great association to pick up an Oracle for his portfolio. Yes. So Chainlink. So you guys know how I talk. I have basically nothing in my portfolio that's buy low, sell high. I did that during the summer, and to me, that's increasingly risky. And I am in risk off mode considering the gains that have been made, and I'm more of in recurring revenue stream mode. That's all I think about nowadays. So what's interesting about Link is that you could create a revenue stream, staking, node operations, so on and so forth. It's quite sophisticated and quite a technological deployment to actually get something like that set up. But sure, I wouldn't own Link unless it was for that. And as I said, my entire portfolio is structured towards that. So that this is a common topic with regard to Ren. The folks talk about that in the channel. There is no logical reason, or at least no high risk reason, to hold Ren unless you have intentions or actually possess a dark node, particularly because of the chart. Bitcoin is significantly outperforming the asset. Now, bear in mind, I did say a non-risky reason because this is a falling wedge. It's still up 119, a little bit more, 120% since the beginning of the year, which is incredible. But wow, these technicals, this is the most incredibly flatline stoke that I think I've ever seen. And this is on the weekly. So this is completely bottomed out. So this thing, and just like it did right here, this thing could easily rip 10x to the upside. So, I did it during the summer to build up a capital base. If you could rip a 10x, you're going to turn, make a significant change to your portfolio balance. It's going to change everything. So I don't entirely discount holding Ren as a speculative asset for likely inevitable price appreciation. What's a couple of things we could say for the short term? Dropping it down to the 15 min. For the short term, oh, for the short term, you could expect continued depreciation. Bitcoin will continue to outperform. The price of Ren denominated in Bitcoin will continue to go down. It doesn't have any indication whatsoever right about now of breaking to the upside. I remember the other day when we were talking about this and this was hopeful. That was a break to the upside, significant break to the upside, but it fell right back in, and now look, we're still on trend. It broke down and it literally hit trend support. Went back up right to trend resistance, and it didn't hit trend support, but still, is there a wick there? Whatever, doesn't matter. But it hit trend resistance. The expectation is it's going to continue to depreciate. So that, you can have that 10x potential asymmetric return at some point where it breaks the falling wedge to the upside, and I can't discount that. But focus on revenue streams um, as you craft your portfolio. But obviously, I keep going over the same thing. But I totally understand and appreciate risk positions and wanting to get that 10x and buy low, sell high type of play. Um, whoa, I missed a lot. If someone got to learn how to read the charts well. Well, yeah, a bit. It's not just the charts though. Uh, it's a lot. It's a story. Basically the title of today's show is today's story. But it's not really a specific title regarding something specific I want to talk about. But really, what I was thinking about when I wrote that title was the concept of looking at data, looking for confluence, looking at projects and their properties, looking at network effect and the popularity of projects on social media. What does that mean? These are all stories. It tells a story of the potential for an asset and how it fits into financial systems, emerging financial systems, and the potential disruption. And that's exciting and that's interesting. Heirloom with a decreasing RSI prior to the last spike. Possibly. But I don't know. Ren is enough on Ren. Love the asset. I hold dark nodes. Wonderful. Recurring revenue streams. I think a Ren dark node is going to produce a full salary, probably before the end of the year. I think we could expect $2,000 a month from Ren dark nodes, probably in the coming months. Let's I think we got almost $600 this month from a Ren dark node, and if things just continue to grow exponentially, and the network effect of the crypto space continues doing exactly what it's doing, we could expect the revenue to just simply increase. Let me show you guys. I'll show you guys firsthand. I'm running out of cash, man. I literally had I had 2 Ethereum in here. This was my cash account just for you know, gas fees for transactions. It's so expensive. You can barely do anything. 188. You see the little icon I have up there that says 180. You can't do anything. You just really can't. Select. So wow, wee wah. $662. That's cool. So yeah, It would be weird not to see 2 grand a month at some point this year with what's going on. I mean, clearly, unless the story changes, and that's the whole point. And then you have a top, then you have trend reversal, and then you figure out and you reassess the story and where the market's going and where the space is going. But wow, $662, that's incredible. It's time to sell 60% of Bitcoin for Digibyte. So I love Digibyte. I hold Digibyte, but let me tell you what that would do to you. If you sold 60% of your Bitcoin and bought Digibyte, you will destroy your portfolio. You will lose value incredibly. Digibyte is significantly underperforming the Bitcoin price appreciation. Um, that's on the 15 min. I mean, let's go out to the weekly and give you guys a real big picture. Expand. All right, so here's the deal. And this chart reminds me just like Ren, what's going on. It's a massive falling wedge. The price has been obliterated, but it's completely oversold on the Stoke. Bear in mind the RSI signifies no strength, so there's no indication whatsoever that this is going to appreciate anytime soon. And what's pertinent is, sure, it might go up in dollar denomination, but that's because Bitcoin is ripping to the upside. And you see the chart on the right here? That's Bitcoin. So this is worth 72 sats. If Bitcoin goes up in value, that means those 72 sats is worth more dollars. But you are significantly underperforming Bitcoin. If you had your value in Bitcoin, you would be making more dollar denominated gains. So a 60% purchase of Digibyte with Bitcoin will produce a significant portfolio loss. Until the story changes, until you have a break to the upside, and then you can experience asymmetric returns. And I treat Digibyte just like I do all my other speculative assets. This thing has the potential to pull, 10x, a 20x. So you put $1,000, 2,000, a relatively small position, and $1,000 turns into 10,000 or $20,000. Yeah, come on. So you don't need large positions to when you're expecting potential asymmetric returns. You don't need large positions to significantly have an impact on your portfolio. That's the bottom line. Where do I learn how to set up a Ren dark node? It's uh, maybe I still have it. Set it up earlier this year. I believe the CLI. So here's your URL. You can still be recorded in the stream. Yeah, here. So this is the CLI. You download the CLI. You need a terminal. You need an Amazon Web Services account. And this basically right here is how you use it. This is everything. And it'll even link you to getting started on AWS to set up your credentials, your authentication credentials. And this is the process. You need 100,000 Ren to set up a dark node. So 100,000 Ren costs about 42,000, $41,000 right now. 40 grand. That's the deal. But 40 grand, making 600 bucks a month. If the Ren was worth a dark node is worth 100 grand and it's making 2 grand a month, that's pretty cool. That's 2% a month. That's 24. That's crazy. That doesn't exist in the real world. Doesn't exist. Heirloom ETH is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ethereum is expensive, and then look at these boys. Look at the gas prices, man. 170, 162 to get a quick transaction. But the thing is, what's fascinating is the story that tells. Gas prices are astronomical. Look how much this would cost. Um, Here, what do I have? I gotta have something. All right, so I have Rook, and so here's a simple transaction. Look how much this would cost to execute. Oh, I have Ren selected. No, I have to reset my browser. It's out of sync with MetaMask. But this would easily be like $180 transaction to do anything. Anything. It's out completely outpriced retail. It's outpriced me. I'm completely outpriced. Absolutely out. I can't do anything on Ethereum. I wouldn't touch it at 162. More people would have interest and put forth effort setting up nodes if they knew where to start. What are the steps and where do we find said steps? I showed you guys the URL right here, github.com, Ren project /darknode.cli. There's better documentation, but I like the technical documentation. You do everything with the Darknode CLI. So it's a command line utility, which I'm sure this operates on Windows. I use it on a Mac, obviously, because it has a Unix shell and curl. So this is all very Unix friendly. And you have the Darknode binary, which is part of the package, which is the CLI utility, and it does everything. It literally does everything for you. And setting up a Darknode is an extraordinarily sophisticated process. But the CLI, this command right here, tells the AWS server to download a huge amount of data and configure everything. It does it all automatically, absolutely fast. This Darknode CLI utility is incredible because I remember the old days from masternodes, and that was relatively technical, and this is extremely simple. Um, Got to have more Digibyte, yeah. So I love my Digibyte. Digibyte is one of the most incredibly speculative assets I could think of. It's altruistic, it's honorable, it's completely decentralized, critical mass decentralization. It will exist in perpetuity. It's going nowhere whatsoever. It cannot be disrupted. But the complexity is, price. So unfortunately, Bitcoin is significantly outperforming the asset, and that's it. If I strongly discourage people from losing their money. So don't lose your money. No other way to say it, guys. You could love assets. I love plenty of assets. I love Digibyte. I wrote the Android Digibyte wallet, and I look forward to one day being wealthy enough where I could just do whatever I want and work on Digibyte and do wonderful things for the community. But I'm not going to lose my money. Now, Bitcoin was significantly outperforming, and we saw incredible trend strength. Look at this! Oh my God, this is about. This is You see what this is? This is a ascending triangle. And you go like this. This is going to rip to the upside, boys and girls. So that's an ascending triangle right there. This might break down. This is going to break up. This might break down from there, but it's going to go up. It might go up. It might go up. And then, boom, it's going to rip to the upside. And we're going to have 42,000, 43,000 Bitcoin today. That's it. It's as simple as that. That's crazy. Crazy. Thoughts on Lido Finance? So I bought LDO, but I lost a bunch, so I kind of liquidated and I bought more 1 inch. Um, yeah, Lido's cool. I want to know more about them. I don't stake my Ethereum with them, but so I have my pretty much all my Ethereum in Celsius, and that's just what I've chosen. I'm kind of a risk averse person. I don't want exposure to the smart contracts. But what's interesting about Lido is that all the DeFi boys like the Banteg, Andre, Julian, Butaloop, these boys love it. They love it. It's exciting. It's like a little crew. It really is. Um, as What am I missing? You could buy Ren directly. I guess they're all use 1 inch. But the problem is, small retail is priced out. It's going to cost a fortune to execute these transactions. So I don't know what to recommend. What I recommend always, I said this to Bitter the other day, try something spend a couple dollars. If you have to spend $20, $30 on a simple transaction, use Uniswap, but try it. But I'm saying that not to necessarily take a position, but from an educational standpoint to understand how it works, and then you could potentially have more appreciation for what it is and why this is basically the building blocks for the foundation of a fully functional financial system where you have monetary velocity and debt and leverage and synthetics and derivatives and options. Oh my God. It's a fully functional financial system. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, Crypto Check, she likes Binance. Binance, Uni, Binance, buy on Uni / Binance. Uh, Opt to Uni, lean towards Uniswap. But yeah, fine. I'm not going to totally. I'm with you. I understand. What brings those gas prices back down to earth? I don't think anything. I think they're going to keep going up because there are millions of people out there with countless millions of dollars, and they're not priced out. If you're doing $50,000, 100,000, $500,000 transactions, you don't give a shit about $150 for a transaction fee. That's just the bottom line. BNT. Let's take a look at BNT real quick. I'm pretty sure it's getting hammered. Everything's getting hammered. Bitcoin is crushing the rest of the space. So yeah, this is you can't buy these assets. So bear in mind you can't buy it expecting asymmetrical price appreciation. But I have a little bit of Bancor as a speculative position, but it's generating yield. So that's what's important. And then when the asymmetric returns come, I've been generating yield this entire time, and I've doubled my Bancor position. So this will take a second to load. Yeah, Barnbridge is cool, Graham. I got my eye on it. They're evolving. But what I like is I like their what they talk about. I like Crypto Chick. I love you. Thank you. That's really appreciated. So Barnbridge is talking about like bonds and like risk curves, and that's what I really like about I think API Finance. Um, they're talking about spreading risk and doing it all automatically. What's so exciting is the emergence of a yield curve where you take the vast majority of your portfolio and it's risk off. You take little portions of a portfolio and you're risk on. You take little portions of a portfolio and you take more risk. So the whole point is you take maximum risk with a small portion of your portfolio. You take a little bit more risk with a little bit less risk with more of your portfolio, and you see it's like a curve and it's triangular. It's anyway. Point being, you want to take the least risk with the vast majority of your portfolio and the most risk with tiny portions of your portfolio, and that's how you structure something that is more likely than less likely to appreciate over time. And that's how you win. Lewis, my friend, you had that yesterday. I don't know about a 30% pullback, but price range? What was this? Let's see. I mean, that was a 10% rip to the downside, guys. That's nothing to sneeze at. Wow. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Yeah, Lito, always have smarter people in the room. These are the smarter people in the room. Bantek, Andre, these are the smarter. The boys at Curve. These are the smartest people. The boys at Bancor. The boys building this stuff. Um, the smartest people in the room. These are. It's extraordinary. I don't have their kind of mentality. I don't have these brains. Um, I don't. But a Ren is not a good buy from a TA perspective. But what is your point with Ren? What do you want to do with it? Do you expect Ren to go up in value? Or do you want to accumulate a dark node? So I see absolutely no reason. There is no reason whatsoever to purchase Ren other than the dark node bond, even from a speculative play. That is the driving force for Ren appreciation, that you have a demand for it so that you can launch a dark node. So that's how it works. Yeah, I know. I know you guys want the speculative play, buy low, sell high. But this is the best way to say it. That's not sustainable. You could only buy low and sell high once. The vast majority of folks, there's obviously traders out there and scalpers, they have a certain skill set. So you can technically buy low, sell high more than once, but the vast majority cannot, and that's excess risk. You're taking in a huge amount of risk because the second you liquidate the asset, you have no idea what the price action is going to be. So I focus on recurring revenue streams exactly because of that. Lewis, whole bunch on the stream, 37. Yeah. I heard Synthetics second layer scaling solution could bring. Yeah, Synthetics is launching their L2 on Optimism. Synthetics might be one. I could say this about so many assets. Synthetics is incredible. It has the potential to be a significant piece of technology comparable to the New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. It's good. I bought Synthetics at the beginning of this. I had like 40 or 50,000 Synthetics at 70 cents. This thing's running around at $12 right now. That's crazy. That's a quick 2,000. I don't have that much now. But what I could show you guys is I could show you guys this. Running out of time, but I could show you guys this. It might not connect. I might not be able to show you, but I'm going to try. Give it a second. Painful to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yes, you're right. I don't have answers. I don't have directions or instructions, but I have just I tell stories. That's all I can do. Everyone. I hope it helps. That's all I could possibly do. Uh, don't. You know, you might Gerber Kawasaki. And many people are going to be launching like crypto hedge funds and brokerages and asset management. I recommend trying on your own and to learn and grow and as much as you can, because if you're in control, I think that's the best position to be in. So synthetics, what you do is you take your synthetics and you're able to mint SUSD. None of this is accessible. So this synthetics, I can't access it because these were mined synthetics. I got them from Synthetics staking rewards. So I get this every week nowadays, 4.57, which is pretty cool. At $12, that was at a it's like 50, $60, and then 12.78 in SUSD. But all of this 979 is in escrow and I can't touch it until later this year. Wow, I bought synthetics on obviously before April 14th, 2021. So last year in late May is when I got into synthetics. And then what happened was I acquired a relatively large position and it started printing 131 per week. And I let that run for a couple weeks, 2 months, give or take. And then it was just so much gains. And then DeFi summer was hot, and Kyber was on fire. Just incredible summer that will end up in a book someday. But it's still producing synthetics, and synthetics just keeps going up in price. And the macro narrative is so not changing. If anything, it's evolving with optimism and the L2 solution rolling out. It's going to change everything. Look at this. I'll show you why. If I go to Mint SUSD, well, I can't mint. See, I'm under collateralized, so I would have to burn and fix my collateralization ratio. Why can't I fix it? Oh, because I don't have any damn SUSD. I turned my SUSD into Ethereum. That's actually pretty cool. Check this out. I have to run this transaction. Um, wow, that worked out okay. So I need the SUSD in order to fix my collateralization ratio so I can extract my weekly claims. So yeah, I love synthetics. Thank you for bringing that one up, Script. That's just extremely bullish about synthetics. A lot of assets I'm extremely bullish about. I mean, I know 1inch. A lot of people just liquidated it. Let me show you guys this. So it's did well against. I'll drop it down to 30 min. So it looks to be trending horizontally at the moment, but look, it looks bottomed out. The 30 min, the 200 EMA. So it has bullish overtones. It's on the defensive, but it's completely bottomed out and it's spiked. It's just had a big rally. This was a big rally. Up, 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 up. Look at that rally, 60%. But this thing is a yield generator. So it's printing, 30 synthetics, 40 synthetics a day, and you get the participating governance, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Um, who knows what the market's going to do with regard to its price action. But what I love is that it's increasing. There's more and more and more of it, and it's growing the portfolio. And I don't have to do anything. It's just growing the portfolio. I don't know Algorand off the top of my head. Obviously, I know of the asset. It's just something I've never taken a position in. My investments have outperformed my Xmas trades. Bam! That's what I like to hear. I like to hear wins because that's what we're here for, to win. Um, Waiting for Ren to get closer to the 200 EMA be a better thing to do. Ren is getting hammered. I don't want to. I want to wrap this up, but what you want is nothing about a 200 EMA or a moving average. You need to wait for this to break to the upside. This is a massive falling wedge. So interestingly enough, I wouldn't buy it now. If I was looking for a position, I would wait for it to rip 30% to the upside. What you want to see is it break to the upside, retest, and then form a new higher high. And that's meaningful confluence to suggest you can expect continued price appreciation. So if you're looking at Ren from a speculative play, it's the same thing I show you on every single asset. You need to break resistance, retest, and print a new higher high. And then, if, like for instance, if you have an entry here, the odds are it'll go up, maybe it'll retest, but that's the way it works. That's the way the data works and the confluence works to suggest more likely than less likely an asset is either going to go up or down. Now, believe me, I'm going to be the first person to tell you guys when the story changes and assets are going down. I told everyone on September 1st, 2020, the story changed. And I told you guys, and I was looking at CoinGecko, folks that have been with me on the stream since last year, remember that? I told everyone not liquidate, but that the story was changing. That's what I do. Heirloom, hit the like button and promote. Thank you very much, everyone. In order to stake BNT, do we need stake DAI as well? No. Bancorp pools are one-sided pools. You can provide liquidity in just one asset. Bancorp pools have impermanent loss protection, are a special AMM as compared to the others. So you do not. You could earn yield on just one asset in the Bancorp pools. Awesome sauce. You can stake. Yeah, pellets answered for me. Falling wedge my ass. What do you want? The falling. Here, look. I'll show you. It's on the 15 minute. Let's go out to the daily. This is a massive, massive falling wedge. Look at that falling. That's huge. This thing is depreciating just immensely against Bitcoin. Bear in mind, this chart is denominated in Bitcoin. And what's pertinent from an investing perspective is uh, outperformance. If one asset is outperforming another, that means it's more lucrative to hold the asset that's outperforming. There's no indication whatsoever that we could expect imminent price appreciation Bitcoin denominated for Ren. What you want is a break to the upside, a retest, and then you have the confluence you're looking for to suggest further price appreciation is to be expected. Does Bitcoin see a pullback or institutions keep going? Well, the charts tell you it's just an ongoing thing. The charts are a constant stream of data. Macro narrative, this thing's going to change the world. $250,000, $500,000, and you're going to have a significant disruption of the global financial system, especially when the government prints $3 trillion or however much they want to print. They're going to have to keep printing, and China's going on their digital yuan, and the ECB and all of them want digital currencies so they can institute MMT. The narrative for Bitcoin is nothing like it was for the last 11 years. The narrative can not be more bullish. And as of right now, this is an ascending triangle. This thing is overwhelmingly more likely than last to break to the upside and continue the bullish price action. Okay, I can't believe this is an ascending triangle after a break from this symmetrical triangle, ripping right through $40,000. This thing's going to be $50,000 sooner than later. Incredible. Um, no, U.S. dollar chart is irrelevant. The U.S. dollar chart is going up because the price of Ethereum is going up. That's why you're perceiving the dollar value because Ren is overwhelmingly traded in denominated in Ethereum. So if the price here, Ren Ethereum, uh, Bittrex, really? No. So denominated in Ethereum, it does look decent, but this is what this means. If the price of Ren is going up in Ethereum, it's still going down in Bitcoin, which means it's still more. Your portfolio will perform better having that value in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is going up more than Ren. It's all about outperformance. This is what Raoul Pal talks about. It's a completely one-sided trade. Bitcoin looks to be outperforming everything. Everything. Incredible. It's not about pennies, OJJ. I appreciate the thought, and it's important to understand the dollar denomination. But what's more important is asset relativity. If one asset is outperforming another asset, it's better for your portfolio to hold the asset that's doing better. So I know we love our assets. I love Ren. I love Digibyte. I love a lot of assets, but it's important to hold the assets that are doing better because I'm pretty sure no matter how much you love an asset, I think you love your portfolio balance better. Pretty sure. Thank you, everyone, for joining 12:13 on a Friday, January 8th. I will see everyone on Monday. I wish you all a good one. Stay safe. Be smart. Ask me any questions you want on Twitter. I'm always around. Thank you for joining. Smack those thumbs up buttons. Tell everyone to subscribe. And I will see you on Monday.